All right, another day. Okay. So today I got a couple of incidents that I've written on this sheet of paper that I'll share with you. Um, it just disturbs me, I'll tell you honestly. I don't know, the way our world is going, I'm really feeling disturbed. Instead of we going into the future where common sense can be used, today I don't know whether people are using their common sense or people are just become plain stupid. I have no idea. But I'll tell you what is the reason I say this, and you guide me and tell me whether what I'm saying is making sense or not. Okay? Now, wait, let me get this paper out. Okay. The main, my main concern is how stupidity and illogical stuff is now being accepted as mainstream, or is being accepted as, yeah, this is right or this is correct. I'll give you examples. Now, the first one. You remember I've been talking about this transgender movement, okay? There was this news that came that in Mississippi, the governor apparently gave the order that transgender females who are actually men who, or boys who, even though they have a penis, even though they have balls, even though their biology is a man, but who call themselves females or who identify themselves as females because they have mental and emotional problems. Now these men can compete with girls in wrestling, in boxing, in running. So now Mississippi has come out with this rule that trans women, I don't know why they call them women, whatever, the term is trans women, cannot compete with women. And because of this, the human rights activists and the general public has gone very angry. They have outraged. They are like, how can you be so sexist? How can you be so heartless? Why is this bias? Why is this hatred? I don't understand. When common sense is being applied, why is it so shocking? It's like a man who has testosterone in his body for 10 years, 20 years of his life, 30 years. All of a sudden says, I'm a girl. And now that man should be allowed to fight with women, compete with women, run with women, cycle with women, go to the Olympics with women. Where is the common sense? And if anyone speaks against this, oh, you are sexist, oh, you are so narrow-minded, oh, you are so backward. Please explain to me, please educate me. Maybe I'm from, I don't know, the backward days. Would you allow your daughter to get into a boxing match with a guy who has been a male with muscles, with testosterone, and compete with him? Just have a look at statistics. The number of women who have broken world records versus the number of men. Now, if you take high school men who are not yet, who are not qualified for the men's Olympic Games, they can still beat the women of the Olympics. Let that sink in. So what common sense is this? I don't understand. How can you have a man who is 6 foot or, weighs 300 pounds, take part in a rugby tournament and, destroy females? I don't understand. And then you have this community where I want you to Google search Ben Shapiro versus Zoe, Zoey. Now, what these producers did is they made this guy, Ben Shapiro, sit next to Zoe, who is a man who identifies himself as a female. A man, actual man, big guy, but he feels, his feelings are he's a female, and he has long hair and he tries to look like a girl and wear girly clothes. So now, Zoe being a man, Ben Shapiro said, no, this is not a woman, this is a man, because he has male appendage or male genitalia. You have the private parts of a man, but you call yourself a girl. And then these other people who are sitting there, these, you know, I don't know, they are some famous TV news anchor or celebrity, whatever. They're saying, how dare you, what the hell? No, I totally, sorry, I'm not into this. No, if Zoe wants to be called a girl, she should be, that guy, she should be called a woman. We should respect Zoe. And I'm not into this. I'm sorry. I respect human beings. So if tomorrow I want to be a penguin or I want to be a frog, you should call me a frog. And you should not talk to me in English. You should say rabbit. I mean, or if tomorrow I say I'm a pig, you should say oink oink. You know, that's how you should talk to me. Otherwise, you're being heartless. I mean, where do we stop? You get people saying that, no, I have no sex, I'm an alien. So you should call me Zemzer, not he, she. And people actually applaud for this. Can you believe people actually clap their hands for this? I really don't understand what sense of normality is this? And then you have that clown Joe Biden. No, we will treat everyone equally. Whatever is your pronoun, we'll call you. If you're a guy and you want to be called a she, we'll respect you. You're respecting stupidity, man. What the fuck is wrong with you, old man? Okay, so this was one. The second one. Oh, this one is a big one. The Grammys. Instead of Grammy, I should say Granny. Okay, now we have the Grammy Awards. I'm not very much into it, but the reason why I happen to see it is because of an incident that took place. Now, Cardi B, an ex-stripper, a female who shows a silicone-enhanced boobies and her bum. There is not a single video of hers where she has not shaken her ass or her boobs or showing it. And her songs are sexually laced with sexual innuendos. So this female came out with this song called WAP. The full form of WAP is wet. Okay, wet, ass and pussy. Now let that sink in. And her song is basically nothing but stating how moist her genitals are when she is indulging in sexual acts. So Cardi B's song, WAP, the full form is wet, ass and pussy. Okay? Now her whole song, I have not heard the song or whatever, I've just read the lyrics. I saw the video and nothing but, you know, going splits, wearing a thong, showing your bum, shaking it and twerking it and trying to, you know, trying to satisfy the carnal pleasures of, you know, sexually desperate men or women. So her song is basically nothing but to inform you her orifice, which is moist after getting sexually turned on, where you put either your mouth or your private parts into those areas and consume the contents. That's to put it very decently. So this is her song. Now this song apparently is supposed to be empowering. Wow, empowering. So much power. sexually empowering. This is a feminist song. So then, what is male empowerment? Talking about how nicely shaped my head is, how the white ooze of life comes out, and how you can have the ice cream, warm ice cream, tasting, which gives you life. Just imagine if I came out with a song like that. My bag holder of my marbles, soft marbles, with the hairy exterior, which you should suck the juice of life. I'm trying to be artistic here. I'm also trying to come out with the male version of WAP. No, HAP. Hard ass. No, I don't have pussy. Hard ass penis. HAP. So she has WAP, I have HAP. Achha. So, don't you think that is male empowerment? Just imagine the values Cardi B is teaching her daughter. My daughter, my dear darling, listen, you have to be an empowered female. So shake your vagina, open your legs, open your bum hole, show it, shake it a little bit, show it sweat. Congratulations, good baby. That is empowerment. Good. Son, come here. See, look at these private parts. This is empowerment. I don't know where to start. I seriously don't know what to say. Is this empowerment? I mean, what kind of... Do you even need common sense to talk about this? And the Grammy video had these two oversized ass elephants or buffaloes or whatever you call them, pigs, dancing, showing their thong and the shape of their putang, dancing, shaking like this. And empowerment. Wow, what empowerment. Wow. Okay. That part was stupid enough. The second part that was stupid is people saying the Grammy was not... It didn't have gender diversity. Now the problem with our world is, because they have learned these new terms, anytime you want to use it, it becomes, a valid argument. For example, if I talk about the bad ideas in Islam, I'm Islamophobic, or I have Islamophobia. But if you check in the book of science, the actual literature, and check phobias, there is no such phobia. Or check all the phobias in the world, there is no such phobia called Islamophobia. It's a term that was created. Okay? Psychologists do not recognize Islamophobia. Now, if in case I crack a joke against, let's say, I'm American, I crack a joke about Indians, that's racist. But an Indian can crack a joke about Indians, yes. An African American, if he calls an African American nigger, that word, that's okay, that's funny. But if a white guy calls an African American nigger, that's... No. Nowadays, even using the word Oriental is very offensive. In fact, forget that. If you call a male who believes he's a female, you call him a he, some people take that offensive. That's committing violence. I want you to see some of the debates by Chowder. Louder with Chowder. Chowder. Okay. So this guy, I think it's a female who identifies herself as a male. She has a vagina, she has boobs, everything. But she calls herself a male. So he says, are you a male or female? So she says, I'm trans. Okay? And she even tells him, my pronouns are them, they. Just let that sink in. So you don't call him, hey, listen, he went to the market. No, them went to the market. So his pronouns, this female's pronouns are they, them. So he says, but you're a female, biologically female. She said, no, I was, what? Gender assist. Some new fucking term. I was assigned a gender, means even though she has a vagina, I was assigned a gender of being a female, but I'm not a female, I'm a male. So he says, but biologically you're a female. She said, you're committing, then she says, this female says, you're committing an act of violence by using this violent speech. Now the problem is, anyone can say anything and we just have to keep quiet. So now they are committing violence by calling a person their gender. So in the same way, this, they use these words, empowerment, female empowerment, feminist, sexual empowerment, or whatever. And now these terms. In fact, go to LinkedIn in Canada, and LinkedIn Canada, and there you'll see people actually putting their name. And next to the name, normally before people used to put PhD or MBA, this particular guy who I know, he has put his name, and in the bracket put my preferred pronouns, he, she, no, he, him, his. I'm not even joking. I've shared this with my group of, WhatsApp groups. This guy has put his name, and in the bracket, he, his, him, my preferred pronouns. We have reached that stage where we even have to tell the world what's our preferred pronouns. Otherwise, you can even be taken to court or sued or even lose your job. Okay. Then next one, Gary Vee. Now Gary Vee is a very successful internet marketer and online personality and businessman. Credit should be given where credit is due. However, if you listen to him once, it's okay, 2 times okay, but after a couple of times it becomes so fucking irritating. It is like putting vinegar on your teeth. And I'll tell you why. This guy is just like, who is this? Like Elon Musk. And they keep harping about college education is useless. Forget college education. Be an entrepreneur. Be enterprising. Please explain to me, if you are born and raised in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, and you say, fuck all this education, fuck all this education. I am going to be an entrepreneur. Now the question is, what if, and you will, fail? So after you fail, then what do you do? Please explain to me what you do. There are so many youngsters today who are not studying, who are not even getting passing marks because they believe they are an entrepreneur. They read all these self-improvement bullshit books. Reading is good. Buying into their bullshit is not. So now Gary Vee has been telling people about Bitcoin. Elon Musk is about Bitcoin. All the jobless fucking idiots. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, oh. Now Gary Vee started NFTs. And almost every single person on the planet has started this NFTs craze. Trying to put their NFTs, trying to buy NFTs, trying to sell NFTs. My dear, it's a fucking fad. When will you realize this is not normal? But however, if you talk to them, oh, you know more than Gary Vee. Oh, you know more than Elon Musk. You seriously think Elon Musk and Gary Vee are interested in your well-being? You think that Gary Vee and Elon Musk are developing these principles for your sorry ass in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka or UAE? See, these guys can afford to lose millions. They can lose billions. They have enough money for 10 generations. How much money do you have? And why don't you use your fucking common sense, man? What the fuck is wrong with you people? When will you fucking learn? Just because Gary Vee says college education is useless, cryptocurrencies is the future, NFTs is the next big thing. Fine, even if they are, Let's assume even if cryptocurrencies are, even if NFTs are, even if college degrees are shit, tell me, what about you? Are you going to earn money? Are you going to have a successful future? Whatever advice he gave, he's making money. Are you? Gary Vee makes he gets paid $15,000 for a half an hour to 1 hour meeting. If you want to pitch your idea to him, he charges you $15,000. Let that sink in. Okay, and there are mad people who have done that. Check the YouTube videos where young boys and girls, wow, it was the most amazing moment. I was able to speak to Gary Vee. Oh, I paid $15,000. Oh, the advice he gave, it changed my life. I have met idiots in UAE who don't have money, who tell me that they can't afford my services, but they are paid internet marketers like Dan Lok $500 for 5 minutes to 15 minutes of advice on investing. Just let that sink in. $500 for 5 minutes. What advice will he give you? Just think. 5 minutes of advice, $500. What will he say in 5 minutes? Okay, but people fall for this bullshit. Why? Because he's a big guy or pretends to be big guy. They fall for this bullshit. And then, sticking with the same theme of internet marketers, I've been seeing lately ads of UAE where these Goras, these are Western brothers and sisters who come from the West. Just seriously check. Now there are so many Goras who are living in Jumeirah or Marina. They're showing their lifestyle and they are claiming that they earn 7-figure income. There is this, I think, European or British girl who's part of ClickFunnels. She's only 23 or 24. Okay, I'm pretty sure she has a sugar daddy. Pretty sure. She claims that she's making a 7-figure income per month. 7-figure income means $100,000 and above per month, just by coaching and mentoring. She even claims, I hardly work. I work a few hours. People pay me an amazing premium. A 23-year-old girl. And you know what is her specialty? She'll give you advice on how to be a successful brand, how to run a successful business, and how to make a 7-figure income business. So her job is to teach you how to make 7-figure income. If you watch the interview by Yahoo, that is Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's right-hand guy, he says, if you're making 7-figure income, would you be stupid to teach your secrets, share your secrets, give your trade secrets, everything, and create competition so that they can also jump into your niche and make money? No, you'll be stupid. If you know the secret and you're making money, you'll not share the secret with anybody else. But there are idiots on this planet who believe, yes, he's making 7-figure income. For $1,000, he's going to make me earn 7-figure income. And here's another thing. What will he teach you? What will he tell you? Work hard, be focused. They have these courses, no? One size fits all course. Work hard, be focused, put content online, market yourself, buy Facebook ads. They'll give you generic stuff that you can just Google search, man. Anybody can say this. But guess what? People fall for it. This was one female. Another female, she hardly knows how to sit like a lotus position as a yoga. And obviously you can make out she has had silicone for her breast. So she's showing her nice tits. She's sitting like this. Okay, and background you can see the marina. And she is going to teach you the law. Just listen to the words. The law of abundance and prosperity for wealth and success. That also is a course. And she's going to teach you the ancient Indian secrets. Wow. Indian cannot teach Indian secrets. Gora will teach you Indian secrets. And that also, there is something called the law of success. You remember that bullshit book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, which sold millions of copies? That crappy book that you can wipe your bum when you go for caca, shit. that book Secret sold millions because so many chutias believed if they could visualize, if they could repeat, and they could see the checks, the money coming from the universe would attract the checks to you. So many people bought into this bullshit, paid money for the book, the course, everything. Till today, they are same position, everything. The author made a lot of money. Okay. So here you have another stupid group of people. Next one. The next stupidity. The Vatican. Now the Vatican, apparently this, our Pope, Mr. Benedict, I think Benedict or who's the Pope? I don't know who's the Pope. Whatever his name is, this guy, the Pope. Benedict was the old guy. This new guy, whatever his name is. So this Pope announces that people of the same-sex marriage cannot get blessed. And now there's an outcry. My dear friends who are getting so upset about this, tell me which religion, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, accepts man on man or woman on woman sex. Which one? They don't accept. So when you know they don't accept, why are you trying to change it? That's the first argument that I have. The second argument that I have is, why is it important to have the blessing of an institution that is outdated? You are from the modern era and you are trying to change a 3,000-year-old institution. You can't change yourself and you want to change the entire world. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? See, I agree, the church has its limitations. The church is wrong in many areas. But it's not just the church, not just Christianity, not just Hinduism, not just Islam. All religions say man to woman, that's acceptable after marriage. But you don't want marriage, forget marriage. You want man on man action, woman on woman action, and you want the church to accept it. See, if there is a church or a mosque or an imam or a Hindu priest who permits man on man, woman on woman, fine, go ahead with that. But now why are you pushing your weight to the entire institution? And when they say no, oh, that is so bad, they are being phobic and you're fucking stupid. You can't change yourself. You expect the whole fucking world to change for you? Use common sense, man. Then the next stupid part. Children protesting. I'll focus on even the adults. But please explain to me, what is the role of a child? What is the role and responsibility? Children, when I was young, they are meant to study. Study hard, work hard, focus on your future. But today's children, what are they focused about? Today's children are focused about climate change, save the environment, future, cryptocurrency, online business, Shopify, making millions, billions, everything except studying. Your job is to study. That's what you're supposed to do. And if you don't want to study, okay, go and fucking work. And where do you work? Not sitting at home, taking your smartphone, your laptop, and on the father's and mother's expense, showing off on Instagram, showing off on Facebook. I know youngsters in India who are actually giving advice on success, on life, on marriage, on love, relationships. They have become the coach. They even, I knew of an 18-year-old who created this course on entrepreneurship. Can you believe this? 18-year-old who doesn't have a business but claims he is a consultant from India. He shows wearing a nice suit and this and that. But this is on his father's expense. So he's showing off and showing how great he is. What is your job? Your job is to study. And after you finish your studies, go fucking work. Start small. Work in some fucking McDonald's. Work in some fucking as a salesman selling door to door. Learn the fundamentals. Nowadays, people who don't want to do that, they want to become billionaire, not even millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. They want to be coach. They want to give solutions to the world. They want to change the world. And like in Australia, protests and all. What the fuck is wrong with you people here? Oh, Greta Thunberg changing. She can't fucking work. She can't fucking earn money. And there are dumb fucking idiots who are behind her, fueling her. Like this. And then idiots like this, what, Rihanna, and now you have Lily Singh, who are so fucking irrelevant. Fucking lesbian female in Canada, hardly been to India. Oh, I stand with the farmers. Why? Because everyone will talk about it, so I'll put a mask, stand with farmers. I will not give my money, I'll not give anything, but I'll stand with farmers. Oh, Rihanna got so many followers. Oh, so much of free publicity. Chal, even I'll stand with farmers. What stupidity is this, man? You know, children, your job is to study, not listen to all these bullshit Gary Vee and all these Tony Robbins and all that. Just go fucking study. And if you're so great, forget Elon Musk. Just go fucking work in a garage. Best part, Elon Musk and Gary Vee wouldn't even give you a job as a security guard. Let that sink in. So then what the fuck are you talking? Then next one, Shamima Begum. A mistake of a sperm who got born. So this Shamima Begum, age of 15, decided to dedicate her putang or holes for ISIS fighters, for their satisfaction. So she married a British ISIS fighter or something like that, went to Syria, chopped a couple of heads and did a couple of bombings, and after all her babies died, after getting fucked left, right and center, both literally and figuratively, finally she realized, oh shit, I'm not enjoying this anymore. Anyway, I chopped people's heads. I wanted to destroy the country that gave my parents refuge. Okay, let me go back there. And so the British government said, no thank you, we don't want you back, you're a danger to our society. Now until there everything is fine, but now where it gets messed up is what is the name, feminists and human rights activists. What they are saying, this is what? Racism. Some people are saying racism, some people are saying injustice, some people are even twisting the decision and saying, oh, if it was white, or if it was an actual British white person, they would bring the person here. Okay, let me address this. Racism is there, no doubt. There's racism everywhere in the world. But now here, where Shamima Begum is concerned, let's understand one thing. To prove Shamima Begum is guilty, you need evidence. Who the fuck is going to fly down to Syria and start doing research for 3 to 5 years to collect evidence? Where do you collect the evidence? That's one. And who's going to get the jurisdiction? Second one is, if she is not proven guilty immediately, they will have to assign resources, manpower, technology to focus on her, to know where she's going, what she's doing. So that is taxpayer money. Third one is, now they've taken a photograph of her dressing up Western and saying that I'm sure she got a PR agency or somebody giving her this advice. Before she was wearing the black burqa, looked like a garbage bag. And anyway, she looks like a fucking doofus. Look like a fucking... Seriously, she looks like one of those droopy characters. I'm happy. She looks like that, man. Oh, I actually want to go to the UK. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Islam and blah, blah, blah. Looks like she's fucking high on drugs or something. So this doofus character suddenly starts wearing pant and shirt. So now she's become modern. Use your common sense and think. When she was wearing pant and shirt in UK, that's where she wore the ninja outfit. From ninja outfit, now she's wearing pant and shirt. So now she's become modern. What guarantee is there she'll not get back to the same bullshit? What guarantee is that she's not playing you? These human rights activists, they are jobless, you know. You remember that Saudi female who came here to Thailand and ran away to Canada. And yes, she was undergoing a lot of torture and all that, I agree. But how did she celebrate freedom? By showing glass of wine, by eating pork and all that. Fine, do all that. But where was the problem? Why are you showing off about it? And then you're Justin Trudeau and all the people, oh, we are an open-minded culture. They didn't miss that photo opportunity. It's the same Justin Trudeau when he went to India, did Namaste. Wow, it was so authentic. Namaste. It was like faking orgasm. Oh, I got an orgasm. He and his family, everyone, wore the Indian dress and did the Namaste. Namaste. You know, it's so fucking fake and irritating. It's like when a Gora comes to India, they say, oh, the rich, vibrant colors, the culture, the authentic, natural habitat. Shut the fuck up. You know, Indians want to say, "Arey, chuppe chutiye." You know, seriously, the Indians want to say, "You're a fucking chuth." You know what's a chuth? Oh, the rich colors. Why there are no fucking colors in the fucking West? Your fucking flag itself is so colorful, man. Oh, the spices. There are fucking spices in your fucking homeland. Just put some fucking Tabasco sauce, you fucking idiot. Oh, it's so authentic. Why, you guys are fucking fake? You're just a fucking lost generation of fucking idiots. And just because you know how to talk a little bit of English, that doesn't make you fucking intelligent, you fucking moron. So bloody irritating, yeah. Oh, the rich, vibrant colors. Oh, the peaceful religion. Oh, the calmness, the oneness with nature. All these, I mean, I don't know what to call them, the waste, the bums of society, you know. They go to these third world countries, they don a fucking orange saffron outfit, they put a tikka on their head, and they wear these slippers and they feel, oh, I'm part of the hippie culture now. Oh, love and authenticity and Om, Namaste. It's as authentic as when an Indian goes to the West and, hi, my name is Kaljit Singh. I'm, my name is Kiran Kuti. It's K-U-T-T-Y, Kuti. I'm from South India. I'm a Malu. My name is Ram Kumar. Oh, hi. I'm from North India, you know, Mumbai. Even females, hi, how are you? Like Priyanka Chopra and all these fucking Indian actresses, the minute they go to the West, they become like, hi, oh, our culture is so, they try their best to pronounce the words that should sound authentic. Oh, authentic, you know? Oh, yes, would you like a cup of tea, please? Oh, I'd like some sauce. Ha, 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 ha. That's what my Malayali brothers would say. Or our North Indians, Arey teri maa ki. Our Northeast always like mother so much. Teri maa ki. Mother. So much of motherly love. Then, the next one. The bullshit about today's cancel culture. You must have noticed this, there were these atrocities against these protesters. It started with this criminal, George Floyd. I can't breathe. He couldn't breathe when he was being put respectfully in the car. He couldn't breathe when he was being arrested. He kept saying, can't breathe. And finally, when they put the knee on his neck, when he actually couldn't breathe, nobody believed him. See, now, I'm not trying to make fun of a murder. I know it sounds like that, but I'm not. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you keep crying wolf, when there's an actual wolf, who the fuck will believe you? That's one. The second thing is, if you break the law, do you expect to be treated with respect? Number three is, why the fuck these Westerners resist arrest? Have you ever seen most of these incidents that take place? They are rude to the fucking cops. They are so rude. No, show me. No, what is this thing? No, you can't arrest me. I'm not going to cooperate. If you're polite to the cops, if you cooperate, if you say, yes sir, I'm sorry. I have, me, with this tattooed face, I've not had a single bad incident with any cop until now. And let me tell you, I've been frisked, I've been checked, I've been stopped, and I stayed in a Muslim country where every other cop has stopped me. Even in Thailand, I've had cops stop me. But how come I had all good incidents? How come I never had a problem with any single cop? Why? Why only good cops meet me? Bad cops don't. See, if you're polite, if you're respectful, if you comply, there's no reason for them. There's no reason for an incident. Okay, I agree that there are incidents where there are bad cops. Without a doubt, there are good human beings, bad human beings. But the majority of the cases which have these bad incidents are with idiots. People who do not know how to behave themselves. See, cops are also family people, yeah. Cops are also human beings. Why all cops are fucking rotten? And then they say, defund the cops. Oh, what? Defund, the cop has to resign. Anytime there's an incident, or the superintendent or the chief should resign. As it is so difficult to get the best people at the top. And for every incident then, or resign. Who your father is going to go and find somebody? Fucking idiots. And when you have a problem, when there's a burglar or when there's a robbery, you're the first person to go and call a cop. You need help from a cop when you're in trouble, but then you'll cause shit. When there are protesters, when there is looting, when there is violence, who do you call? You call a cop. When there's a robber that comes to your house, when someone threatens you at knife point or gun point, when someone tries to rape you, who will you call? You'll call a cop. That time you need cops. Otherwise, you'll treat them like shit. It's like having a friend who just uses you, and when they don't want you, they backstab you. This is the problem with our fucking society. Anytime there's an incident, oh, what? What is that? Fucking should resign. Every fucking thing you talk about resigning. Then what else? Last if not the least. These experts who come online, I just want to address these people. Just check my videos. Check my videos and check the comments underneath. Almost every person has an opinion. Fine. I have no issues with that. It's okay, you can have an opinion. But then you'll notice so many accounts where they don't mention their age, they don't mention their name, they don't mention their identity, they don't mention who they are, but they are the experts in the field that they are speaking about. You know, in my group, I have multiple groups. WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, Facebook. Whenever anyone tries to talk to me, or immediately I ask them, what is your age? How old are you? What do you do? And I like to know their profile. And if I'm not convinced who they are, I ask them for evidence. Now, why do I do this? It's very simple. To know who the fuck am I speaking to? Is this person deserving of my time? Am I wasting my time talking to this idiot? Or is this person worth talking to? If the person talks shit, I don't fucking bother. If the person, is a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, even 20-year-old, even a fucking 30-year-old, I don't take the person seriously. If the person works in an ordinary job, doesn't have a profile, I don't fucking take it seriously. Why? Because if you do not have the fucking common sense to have a decent career, to be successful, and you're some low living bum who is dependent on the mercy of others, in the real world nobody fucking takes you seriously. You're not at all, you're a nothing and nobody in the real world. On the internet world, why you become a god? Or you'll say, Loy, does money define? Yes, fucking money defines. Because it shows you don't have the capacity to fucking earn. Nobody takes you, if nobody takes you seriously in the real world, why the fuck should someone take you seriously in the virtual world? What the fuck, you become Superman? We as human beings, we evaluate each one's profile before talking to them. Like, why, if we are dressed up in a fucking 3-piece suit, sitting in a fucking Rolls Royce, CEO of a company, would you spend time talking to a cleaner and discussing stock shares and business? No, your time is fucking important. You'll talk to only like-minded people. These people, only if they are some use to you, you want to get a job done, you'll talk to them. Shouldn't it be the same in the fucking virtual world? I find it so fucking shocking in my group. When I have one of my members, he is worth 70 million US dollars. Okay, let that sink in. Annually, 70 million he makes. You get this idiot from India, student, who's fucking student. That guy had shared one post, and this guy is giving him, like, disrespecting him. And he's literally asking, this youngster is asking, who the fuck are you? Because my friend is humble, he didn't say anything. He said, why, what do you think? Do you think differently? And this guy was lecturing this youngster who's staying in fucking India. I threw the bum out. I told him, fuck off. Oh, Loy, please, I'm sorry, sir. No, fuck off. Who the fuck are you? See, here's a simple thing. If two adults are talking or two senior managers are talking, and a 10-year-old kid comes and starts talking, hey, listen, what about this and that? Would you take the kid fucking seriously? No, you would not. In the real world, you would not do that. Even if it's a fucking college kid, you wouldn't do that. Then why the fuck should we give them the same privilege when they are fucking online? That doesn't mean someone who's 40 by default is smart. No, I evaluate each person individually. Yes, there are some people in their 20s who are incredibly smart. I speak to such people. Like, for example, when it came to my technology purchase, when it came to my computers, when it came to the laptop, the latest ones that I purchased, I spoke to this young boy who's in his 20s, and he's not rich. He's a very simple boy. He's based in South India. He's a good friend. He's a person who I speak to so frequently, and I take his advice. I take his suggestions very seriously. He's not right 100% of the time, but majority of the times he's really accurate, and he's a self-taught IT professional. So why do I take advice from him? Why? Because he's good. It doesn't mean just because he's young and poor, he's useless. No, it's case by case. But the majority of youngsters are fucking idiots. They're just waste of space and time. They have this confidence, they have this arrogance, they have the, I know everything, google.com, I can check, and they will talk like they are your fucking father. But in the real world, they're big fucking zeros. So this is the problem with the people on the internet world. They'll talk fucking big, but it's all, fucking gas and no shit. It's all, farting noise. So that is why I don't fucking take them seriously, man. So for me, if anyone talks to me, I need to know who the fuck am I talking to. I qualify them. Send me a fucking profile. I need to verify. If the profile I feel is not here, theirs. Okay, show me social media links. Okay, fine. Say hi to me from there. Okay, this is your profile. Fine. What do you want? Immediately, I qualify the person. And if the person says they want my time, they want to discuss, yeah, pay money, then we'll talk. You can't afford to pay me money. You might be the fucking CEO of a fucking company. I don't give a fuck. For me, you have to qualify. You have to be worth my fucking time. Because I'm a fucking professional. The problem with today's internet culture, no? Everyone's a fucking expert on every fucking subject. For me, simple. I'm good at personal branding. I'm good at resume rebrand. I'm good at some things. and rest of the things I have opinions. Where YouTube is concerned, 100% I agree, I can be wrong. Listen again what I've said. On YouTube, the comments that I give are nothing but opinions, and 100% I can be wrong, which is why I keep the comments open and I take opinions. But however, where it comes to my personal page, my business, my work, no, there you don't fuck around. That is why anyone who tries to fuck around where my work is concerned, where my daily bread is concerned, where my livelihood is concerned, I will not spare that person. Straight away block and delete, whoever the fuck you are. Block and delete. I don't want to fucking hear you. That's why on these videos which are random and general, you can say whatever you like. Fine, I give you the free will. But when you cross the line and get into my livelihood, you try to destroy my integrity or my work, or try to harm my clients, I'm sorry, I don't take it lightly, and it's not up for debate. So the main thing that I want to tell you, where this internet culture is concerned, there are too many fucking idiots who are given importance which they shouldn't be. Today's youngsters, today's generation, they think they have no end of themselves. There is so much that goes into even being online, even to make money online, which people don't understand. They think, oh, YouTube, very easy to make money. Oh, just put a video. Try doing what I do. Every fucking day. 4 videos, 3 videos, 20 to 30 minutes each. Editing, color correction, uploading, then tags, description, marketing. And on top of that, managing my clients. On top of that, taking care of a family. On top of that, doing my personal stuff. On top of that, planning for the next day. Even exercise, all these things, I have to cram it up in one day. You think it's fucking easy? But you get so many experts online. That is why I don't take anybody seriously, unless of course he qualifies for my time. Only then I take the person seriously, others never. So bottom line, what I want to tell you through this is, if you're online and you're a hidden personality, nobody knows who you are, what you are, your name, your age, you can't prove your identity, I don't take you seriously. If you can prove your identity, then you have to qualify for my time. I don't care you're a fucking CEO, I don't care you're rich, I don't care. No, you have to qualify for my time. But if you're someone who I can learn from, if you're someone who has achieved something that I respect, if I feel that you're a person whose character is good, fine, I will listen to you, I'll talk to you. Not everyone who is my friend online is rich. Not everyone who is the person I talk to is successful. There are some very genuine people, but they're very far and few. So bottom line, what I want to tell you through this is, know who you're talking to, qualify them. Not every Tom, Dick and Harry who has the ability to type and talk should be taken seriously, and that's what you should keep in mind. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I know it's a long drawn out video, that's why I might share this into bits and pieces, but this is what I wanted to share with you in terms of the crazy world that we live in. So watch this video, let me know your thoughts, and I've given plenty of content. So this is what I wanted to say. Look forward to hearing from you. Alright, guys, take care. Me signing off. Ciao.